negativity is what's keeping us from held back. Be positive for once.
I'm sorry that the world doesn't let me be positive. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Pics or It Didn't Happen. I am the Jew. I am joined by my homie, the Yeti. Stop. Always doing shit with your hands. Always. We have an extra special guest this week. We are joined by longtime friend of the show, Dirk Manning.
What up, guys? Thanks for having me back. It's been a minute.
Yes.
Or two.
As a matter of fact, we were actually talking about this before I reached out to you. It was right around this time last year that you said, hey, around February, go ahead and hit me up. So in January, I'm a little early.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's all right. You know, that space between 2019 and now 2021 that we all kind of collectively agreed not to talk about definitely shifted a lot of plans around. So we're good going a little early, man. We can start the year off fresh and right and properly this way.
I'm with that. Now, before we actually get into the meat of this interview, I have to share this story because if I don't, my head will explode. So I started a new job, and I'm not going to say the name of the company. All I'm going to say is that we make what essentially are doggy loot crates. Basically, if you have a dog and you order from this service, they produce these pretty little boxes of dog treats and dog toys and so on and so forth. Basically for rich people. And I was told in my orientation, they pulled us aside and they said, now, this is a warehouse full of dog jerky and dog treats. Please don't eat the dog treats. And I thought, you know, maybe they were joking. So then when we get online and we get to start to doing the actual job, my supervisor pulls all of us aside and says, seriously, guys, don't eat the dog treats. And again, I'm thinking this is just a little joke that we're having. And then they have us go through the aisles. We're looking for product or whatever. And I understand now. I get it. Because there are bags and bags of open dog treats and unwrapped dog jerky. And it's just all over the floor. So someone is eating these dog treats and this dog jerky. And I had to share that with the fans because I couldn't believe it my fucking self.
Now, full disclosure, have you ever eaten a dog treat?
No, sir. I am not the guy.
Never? Nothing?
Never. No.
All right. I no judgment, you know. I mean, you know.
So I take it you have then? Okay, that's the hot take. That's the hot take.
Yeah, on years and years ago, God, I was probably in high school. We were all just screwing around, and you know, like on a bet, I agreed to eat a God, was it a dog treat or was it the more I think about it, I think it was a dog jerky. Because I was kind of like busting chops, like, how much different can it be? And they're like, oh, Dirk, we dare you, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like a buck or something. And I took a bite of it and started chewing it up. And I just remember it tasted like sand and sawdust. So now maybe just like diet food and stuff like that has gotten better over the years. Maybe the quality of dog jerky has improved to the point that it's now like regular beef jerky. But my hot take and my advice to you is, it's not about quality control. It just didn't taste very good. I couldn't even swallow it. I was like, you know, yeah, because I didn't get, it was jerky. Because I remember, because I didn't get the dollar because I didn't eat it. I actually had to like expunge, like spit it out and stuff like that because I just couldn't handle it. It was just foul.
Wow.
And my buddy would ate a dog biscuit.
Oh, I imagine that's just terribly dry.
The jerky was horrible. I can't imagine what the biscuit would taste like, and I don't know why we're talking about this. It
was a strange sidebar. I wasn't expecting it, but wow, I'll fucking go with it because that's what we do here. We just kind of go with it.
So you don't eat the dog treats?
Don't eat the dog treats. I mean, if you didn't have to be told,
not even for $1.
They don't taste great. We have that knowledge now, so you don't have to.
What fascinates me is the fact that what you were talking about, someone there is eating them.
Frequently. Yeah. So much so that they have to tell the new hirees to not do it.
Yeah, that's what's creeping me out. Because like I said, this was 30 years ago, whatever, like I said, a gag. And it was a little like a dog jerky thing. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's wow.
But then again, if it's gourmet, I don't know. See, maybe I had like that janky, like the janky jerky.
It's all the new health foods and everything.
Right.
It could be better food than I'm actually eating.
I so was not expecting this to go this way.
I'm gonna have to. No, you know what I didn't expect. I'm gonna have to work that into Haunted High-End at some point. Some little bag of like janky jerky, something like that.
I will be on the lookout for that shit. So
someday, the volume 2 is already written and stuff like that. But down the road, maybe at some point, we can work in some. I'll talk to Mariana Alessandro. Some janky jerky will commemorate this vast humiliation I just inflicted upon myself. I didn't have to say anything. I just could have shut up. As you can tell, I'm a little punchy. I've been doing meetings all day and podcasts all day. So now this is what you get: the punchy Dirk Manning who freely admits for $1 he ate dog jerky 30 years ago.
All 5 people that watch this are gonna love that hot take. So
it'll be all over the news.
So
but this is how we're going viral. This story.
Before we get into the newest project that you're working on, which is just unfucking believable. We said we weren't going to talk about 2020, but I have to bring this up. For all of us, it was a bit of a down year, but you were pretty much busy the entire fucking time. Between Right and Wrong, Mr. E, just all the things you were really working, and
I was.
For people who had a hard time staying busy, you did not, sir, and kudos for that.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I got grounded. Astronomicon was my last convention appearance, and then it'll most likely be my first convention appearance back coming this August, which is a nice symmetry to it,
Mm-hmm. It does seem like it's fitting, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was supposed to do C2E2, which is one of my other favorite shows of the year. My grandfather got very ill. I had to fly down to Florida as an emergency. Couldn't get to C2E2. Then everything shut down. And it's funny because, I was talking to someone else about this, how a lot of us creative types who are on the road a lot, we went through like that 7 stages of grieving type thing. It's like, okay, well, we can get back soon. We can get to the show. And then after a few months, it became very evident that was not going to be the case. But then furthermore, I really got okay with it. I normally do about 25 to 30 conventions a year. So really, you're looking at every other weekend minimum, but sometimes like long stretches, like 5, 6, 7, 13 weeks in a row, I'm just on the road every weekend. And you get used to that hustle, you get used to that grind. It's like being a band, like you're touring, you're just going from one to the next, to the next, to the next. But what ended up happening was, once kind of got to the new normal in a lot of ways, I was able to really hunker down and own it and own where we were at and own what was going on and just start writing. And like you said, as a result, the Tony Schiavone biography came out, worked on New Right or Wrong, Tales of Mystery, Volume 5, of course, Haunted High-End's Volume 2. And as a result now, when I met up with SourcePoint, socially distanced and everything else, because I'm being super careful about stuff, but we did a very small meeting with SourcePoint and just talked about, okay, what's going on for 2021? Because we also did Buried But Not Dead last year. We did a little quick starter. We did that 15-day surprise drop campaign. And that did really well. We did almost 15 grand in pre-sales in 15 days, which was incredible. So we talked about getting that scheduled for mass market release and what's coming out. And I said, okay, well, here's all these things. And they're like, okay, Dirk, we love you. And we know your stuff's good and we know it'll move. We can't possibly put all this out in 2021. We don't have the capacity. And realistically, you don't have the capacity. And your readers may not have the capacity. So basically now, from all the work I did in 2020 being grounded, I've kind of like set up my next 18 months or so of work.
That's good to be ahead of the curve like
Absolutely.
that.
It is. And comics, you have to be. You really got to be ahead. In my opinion, you got to be. I look at releasing comics like a prose author looks at books. You have it done, then you put it out. Now, I also don't do a regular monthly title either. Haunted High-End's Volume 1 was a one-shot, and then we did a 5-issue miniseries. Volume 2 is a 4-issue miniseries. Tales of Mystery is an original graphic novel. Cthulhu Jr. is going to be an original graphic novel. So I don't have to work on that monthly grind so much. I'd rather put out a volume or put out a story, month by month, be done, collect it, move on to the next one. So I position myself a little bit differently in that regard. But yeah, so for me, it's just been like stacking stuff up to go because 2020 sucked. 2020 was
it really fucking did.
Yeah.
Awful. And I've never been one to attribute to like, oh, it was a bad year. It was a bad year, but we also inevitably have to, make, as cliche as it sounds, make lemonade out of the lemons.
Yep.
I mean, all the personal, professional, and everything else that happened, you just take the time to recalibrate, reevaluate. Being off the road allowed me a lot of time for reflection and just really completely kind of recalibrating and recharging and just really coming to peace with where things are at.
Pics, or it didn't happen. Pics, or it didn't happen.
Your negativity is what's keeping us held back. Be positive for once.
I'm sorry that the world doesn't let me be